Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. I'm Mark Goldbridge and this is the biggest game of the season. By fact, look, it is the biggest game of the season, whether it should be or not, it is. You know, it's Manchester City against Arsenal. They have been the best two teams in the league for a very long time and therefore we have to give it its kudos as the biggest game of the season. I'm not actually convinced that it's going to be the best game of the season. I don't know what your thoughts are, but it is Man City, it is Arsenal, it is the two teams that will fight for the title potentially, because I think if Manchester City were to win today, then that would be the end of that. So yeah, I don't see anybody being able to live with Manchester City if they win today. But look, maybe we're going to see a bit of a shock. Maybe we will see a little bit of an Arsenal approach that's not parking the bus and playing for a clean sheet, which is basically, I think, what a lot of us are expecting here today. A lot of people would say, well, what do you expect them to do? Well, they came here last year and they did that. And, they still didn't win the league. So, and they did beat them at the Emirates and then they drew with them here. I just think that, is there a better way of approaching this? I mean, I think it's a little bit submissive of Arteta to just come here and we know Arteta would love if Pep Guardiola rang up Mikel Arteta on a free Sunday afternoon in the international break and said, do you fancy washing my car? Arteta would be up the M6 as quick as you could say, where can I get some washing up equipment from? He absolutely loves him. So the respect sometimes I think can be a bit problematic from Arteta, because I think he does never, ever approach this game in the way that I think he could do. And I think we will see a very negative Arsenal approach, which is fine if they get a draw. But how many times are you going to get away with that? They did it last season. They got that draw. I don't know how many times you can come to the Etihad and just play for a draw. And I want to see a different type of Arsenal approach, because I'm telling you now, if City win this game today, that puts them 5 points ahead of Arsenal. I don't think Arsenal get that back, even though it's only 22nd of September. I don't think they get that back. But get your comments in. We've got the lineups for you. As you can see, Man City lining up with Ederson, Vardiel, Akanji, Diaz, Walker, Gundogan, Rodri and Bernardo Silva, and then Doku, Sabino and Haaland. De Bruyne wasn't past fit for this game after taking a knock in the game midweek against Inter. Don't know how long De Bruyne is meant to be out for, but he misses the game. Does that level things out? Well, not really, because if you're Manchester City and De Bruyne's out, you've got Phil Foden and you've got Bernardo Silva. If you're Arsenal, if Odegaard's out, you really haven't got anybody who can do that role. Arsenal lining up with Raya, Calafiori, Gabriel, Saliba and Timber. No Ben White. Martinelli, Rice, Partey, Saka, Trossard, Havertz. It's not a bad side. Ben White's on the bench. Sterling's on the bench. Jesus is on the bench. Look, that is an Arsenal side that, all right, it hasn't got Odegaard, but I don't for 1 minute think it's submissive to say, yeah, let's leave it how it is, and let's play defensive. Yeah. But, sorry, just a few people are saying, do you think it was a Gibbs-White? Red card. Yeah. I don't get the conversation there. He's on a yellow card already, and it's a scissor tackle. It doesn't matter whether he gets the ball. It's one of the worst tackles in the game. I hate it. I wouldn't give him a straight red for it because he got the ball, but he knows exactly what he's doing. It's a reckless, out of control tackle, and it's a scissor tackle. People think because you get the ball. I've seen Xhaka got the ball at Villa Park a few years ago with 2 feet. So no, it's a yellow card, and he's already on a yellow card. If it had been a straight red, I think you've got a debate there. But as a second yellow card, I think it is a second yellow card. I think those sort of tackles are worse than studs up, because you're wrapping your whole... Basically, what he does is the first foot gets the ball, but the second leg is going right behind Pedro. And if you've ever had one of those tackles, you're dribbling forward, the ball gets taken, but your legs get wrapped up in two of their legs, and they're completely safe because they're in control. Second yellow for me every day of the week. SS says the ref said he won the ball first, then changes his mind. Shocking decision, never a red. But I don't care. I'm not going to play the game. Like, I don't care what you think. Like, that's your opinion. Well done. You're asking me. People are asking me. I saw it for the first time and I thought that's a scissor tackle. It's a yellow card at least, and he was already booked. So if I'm in the minority, that's absolutely fine. I was asked the question. For me, the refereeing in this country is absolutely shit. He probably did hesitate. Probably doesn't know the rules. Why bring in the referee into it? I couldn't give a shit what the referee did. I don't trust the referees. I think they're shit. I think yesterday there was some shocking decisions. But I think it's a second yellow card. And I would have given it him straight away. What the referee does doesn't bother me because I don't respect the referees anyway. So I can't understand the argument of, what do you think, Mark? Well, I think it was a second yellow card. Yeah, but the referee said he got the ball and then he changed his mind. Well, you're just confirming my opinion that the refereeing is shit in this country. I couldn't give a toss what the referee thinks. I think it was a second yellow card. How? I don't know, Bruno. I've got no idea. And you're not going to catch me out chatting about other people who chat about me when I don't chat about them for a very obvious reason. Views. If Brighton player did it, great tackles as random. No, look, okay. Some of you don't think it's a red card, a second yellow card. Some of you do. I think it was. I've explained why it is. You won't change my mind. Let's talk about Man City against Arsenal. Right. You should respect the referee. Okay, I'm not talking about it. If he did, okay, don't want to talk about that. Don't want to talk about that. Crom says, do you think it will be a snore fest? Yes, I do. And I think that's on Arsenal. And I would say to any Arsenal fans, would you take a point before this game? And I think that's the problem. I think there's a lot of Arsenal fans that would take a point right now. I think Arteta would take a point right now. And I personally think you should be more ambitious. And not because I think you should come here and open up and get beat, but because I think you're good enough to win. I think Arsenal are good enough to win this game of football. I think they are. And I think if Man City win it, the title's over. Come back in May. If Arsenal win this game, if Man City win this game, the title's over. They won't catch them. 5 points is too much. They'll be gone. See you later. Wing, view, mirror. See you later. Absolutely no chance, I think, that Arsenal get near Manchester City again if they lose this game. I think the gap's too big. And I think Man City would be 5 from 5, having not even broken sweat. And you look at Man City's next few games after Arsenal, they've got Newcastle away next week, where Newcastle suddenly aren't playing very well. Then they've got Fulham, Wolves, Southampton, Bournemouth, Brighton. You know, honestly, if Man City win today, what price? Hear ye, hear ye. What price, if Man City win today, they go 10 for 10. 10 wins in a row. I would not be surprised. So the interesting thing for Arsenal as well is if you've watched Man City this season, there is a vulnerability. There is always a vulnerability with Manchester City at the start of the season. And there is a vulnerability today, this afternoon, because they only beat Brentford 2-1. They only beat Chelsea 2-1, and Chelsea had their chances. I mean, I know, look, Ipswich are always going to get beat. And who else did they beat? West Ham. I mean, West Ham were, that game was West Ham are not playing very well at the moment either. So I think Arsenal have to give this game a really good go. But I've got to be fair. I predict it will be a bit of a snooze fest. I hope I'm wrong on that. What makes it not a snooze fest, Mark? Man City scoring. Honestly, if Man City score first, it opens up the game. If Arsenal score, they'll go even more defensive. And I hate to say this, but actually, an early Man City goal opens up the game. An early Man City goal could lead to 4 or 5. I think Haaland. I mean, this is famous last words, but I wouldn't be surprised if this game ended up 0-0, and therefore Haaland gets shut down. I personally do not think Haaland is one-dimensional. I just think that he's a service striker, and if you keep him quiet, Man City do struggle. Mark, you are the M&M of the content world. People talk your name for clout, says Carter. Oh, I like that. Snaffer says either or, Jackson or Nunez. Yeah, we can do that. We can definitely do that. We can do that. Remind me of that. We will do that. I've just got the poll for the result at the moment. Sweet and sour chicken or Singapore noodles for tea? Sweet and sour chicken. I've just had a lovely dinner. Oh, you know what? It's pissing it down with rain in the UK. I've just built the first fire of the year. It's really quite dark outside. It's pouring down with rain. And we had homemade stew with dumplings, cabbage, swede, and jacket potatoes. Absolutely lovely. Lovely stuff. I love the autumn. I like the summer, but when it's time for autumn, it's time for autumn. Jack Grealish on the bench. Must have fell out with the manager, says Dazzo. Yeah, I'm actually going to tweet that in a minute. Yeah. Well, Foden's on the bench, isn't he? Is Foden starting or is Foden... I think Foden's on the bench as well. Yep, Foden is on the bench. Definitely. There you go. The tweet's out. You can have an assist on that one, Dazzo. I changed Grealish to Foden because Grealish is on the bench a lot. What is your ideal and realistic replacement for Bruno, says Abdul? I mean, I don't actually know of one at the moment, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't actually know of one at the moment. Shock says, what do you think of Victor Gyökeres? I don't know whether I pronounced his name right. I think he's stuck at Sporting at the moment because nobody can afford the price that they actually want. So I think that's the problem at the moment there. I mean, I'd like to see him in the Premier League. Obviously, he was at Coventry, but it's a bit like the manager at Sporting. They just, Almiron, nobody can get him out because Sporting want a lot of money. As an American coming to the UK on vacation, what are 3 foods I must try? We got to try fish and chips. I wouldn't imagine fish and chips when I lived in Ireland isn't the same as fish and chips here. So fish and chips, definitely. Definitely, I would say try a curry as well. I think we do some good curries, especially in Manchester and Birmingham. And a Sunday roast. Yeah, you've got to try a Sunday roast as well. Full English breakfast, though, as well. There's 4 there. Don't try jellied eels. Edward said Cornish pastry. For some reason, I ran Cornish pasty, says Edward. I read it as cum pastry, which I was like, what's that? What ingredients have you changed there? Not mad, we got a draw at Palace and a clean sheet, says Ronnie Dodge. Let's keep that for the United stand at 8 o'clock tonight, mate. Let's keep it for that. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, though. I sense this is going to be a big game. We've got nearly 9,000 tuning in already. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe. Can I just personally say as well, massive thank you to everyone who's getting involved in the EAFC career mode. It's back tomorrow live at 3 o'clock. Episode 1 and 2 is on my channel. And for anybody who was a fan of the COVID hit TUSFC, always feel funny when I say COVID hit because I realise that people got very ill and died. And yet I'm talking about a career mode that was very much, epic in that period. So rest in peace and, thoughts and that with everybody who was hit by COVID. It wasn't, a great time, but we did have a very good career mode and nobody can lie that. And it was TOSFC, and watch out this week around Thursday. Something's getting announced about that. Personally, always thought it should have been a Netflix series. Genuinely think that series could compete with The Last Dance, but we're still waiting on a phone call with that. But thoughts on Gibbs' white red card, says Highline Harry. You're either a troll or you're late to the party. We'll talk about that in a moment. But talking about party, Thomas Partey starting for Arsenal, but we can describe a party for you. It's by Manscaped. You can get 20% off and free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY. What is Manscaped? Well, if you don't know, it's this. You put it in your hand, you go down to the midfield, you trim the grass, you make it bigger. This is basically male grooming. Absolutely fantastic. Look at that. Light, power, safety. Off you go down there. Really is a big game changer. Fantastic product. 20% off. Free worldwide shipping with the code FOOTY. That was inadvertent, but look, do it again. One day I'm going to take my eyebrows off, which I've got glasses there to protect me. They've also got fantastic other products. I use this very regularly, the beard trimmer. It's got 11 different lengths on it. Apparently it's got 20 different lengths, actually. Well, it has actually got 20 different lengths because it's 2, 2.5, 3. So I've always got that wrong. Again, very powerful. Look at that. And they've got the Handyman. They've got the Weed Whacker. Fantastic products delivered to your door. Precision engineering for your family jewels. The leader in male grooming. 20% exclusively for you, the That's Football viewer, with the code footy. Links in the description. Scan the QR code. You are going to love it. You are going to love it. Thank you very much to Manscaped as ever. Hairline Harry says, what were your thoughts on the Gibbs white red card and that whole situation? Honestly, I go up the Thunderdome. Oh, I'm so excited. So excited. I've been putting quite a lot of work, quite a lot of discussions have been going on about it this weekend. But if you know, you know. Hopefully it's going to live up to expectation. But that's for later in the week. Pep Guardiola had some very interesting comments today, didn't he? About how people want Man City to be wiped from the face of the earth. No, we just don't want you to win the league every year. Yeah, I thought that the Gibbs white tackle, when I saw it, was a yellow card. I'd read on social media that he got a straight red for it, which I think was a bit harsh. He didn't get a straight red. He got a second yellow. For me, it's a second yellow. Sam Gam says, will Kent return? Well, put it this way, he's got a new haircut. So there we go. Yeah, no, I think it was a second yellow card. I think it's a reckless, out of control scissor tackle. And I don't think that those tackles have been in the game for 10 years now. I tell you what, here's your bias. Here's your red tinted glasses. That tackle by Martinez last night was disgusting. And the only reason he didn't get a red card is because I think the officials bottled it, but I think they got it right. Because there was no contact on the player, I don't think they wanted to give a straight red. And they gave a yellow, and I think it was probably right. But oh my God, he's literally the definition of a red card. You can't jump into a tackle with studs like that. I mean, he literally, if you didn't see it, it's like 2 feet up, down onto where the ball is. If he gets anywhere near the player, that's a red card. The argument there is, should the intent be enough for a red card? I don't think it should. I don't think you can give a red card. You know, if somebody does a scissor, it's a bit like saying this. If somebody does a scissor tackle, misses the ball and misses the player, are you going to send them off? And I think that's what saved Martinez. There is no contact with the player. So I think it's a yellow card, but yeah, any contact, it's the definition of a red for me. It was wild and unnecessary. And if I was Ten Hag, I'd be saying, look, love your passion, mate, but I'm not going to pretend as a United fan that there was a moment where I thought he was getting sent off. And then I watched it in the replay. He doesn't make any contact. And it's like, it'd be really harsh to send him off without any contact on it. But you can't tackle like that. You can't tackle like that. The Butcher for a Reason says, Himothy, can you demonstrate how to do the crown jewels, says Leon. Yeah, let's do it, mate. Yeah, what time is it? 4:20. Family show. About to watch Man City against Arsenal. I'll get trimming for you live. Come on. Mark, if Arsenal play part of the bus for each big game and change their philosophy, do you think questions will be asked about Arteta's mentality, says Ibrahim. I don't want to see Arsenal parking the bus tonight. I don't want to see them parking the bus. I want to see them going on the front foot. I want to see them look, Arsenal don't need to park the bus to have a good defence. Arsenal get clean sheets when they beat teams 2 or 3-0. They don't need to park the bus. They have a good defence. I don't think this Man City side is cooking yet. I think there's a chance Arsenal can win this game. They've just got to be a little bit more progressive. I think they've got a great chance of winning. And I tell you what, if they lose this game by parking the bus, then look, it's very hard. It's very, very hard to coach at this level. But I think there is going to be, if Arsenal lose this game parking the bus, there will be questions asked of Arteta. Of course there will. If he gets the point, people will say, what a bored draw. But Arteta and Arsenal fans will be going, look, we're still in the title race. We've took a point there. They've got to come to our place. If they go there and win, it changes everything. Everything. Midfield 3 for Arsenal is Partey, Rice and trying to figure out who it would be. Well, it's not. I mean, people say it screams they're parking the bus. Havertz is in the midfield. It's Trossard, Martinelli and Saka. So I don't think it screams parking the bus, because they could have put Jorginho in the midfield with Rice and Partey, and they haven't done that. So I'm hoping there might be a little bit more progression in what Arsenal are trying to do. Thanks for all the early super chats, by the way. Absolute legends. Let me just make sure I've caught up with them. I have done that. Thank you very much. Please do subscribe, by the way. Bottom right hand corner, you're very welcome on That's Football. We're getting close to 253,000. Absolute legends. Everybody's welcome on this channel. Doesn't matter who you support. We may even have some Man City fans. I don't know what you thought about Pep saying that. You know, it feels like everybody wants Man City to be wiped from the face of the earth. I couldn't think of anything further from the truth, in my opinion. There is a court case taking place because of a number of things that Man City are alleged to have done. I think a lot of us suspect something's gone on in the last 20 years at Man City, and they're being investigated for it. If they get found guilty of it, it throws into doubt the credibility of the Premier League over the last 15 years. And if they've been found guilty, there must be a punishment for discrediting the Premier League over the last 15 years. That's where we're at. Do I want Man City to be wiped from the face of this earth? No. Before they, had this money, I had, even though I'm a Man United fan, massive respect for Manchester City. I mean, I was at Birmingham City against Wrexham on Monday night. League One, packed out, unbelievable support. Man City got relegated to that league a few years ago, 20 years ago, I think it was. And they had 32,000 people there. So I don't want to see Man City wiped from the face of this earth. They have a core, loyal fan base. They've got a lot of glory fans now, of course they have, but they've got a core, loyal fan base that were there before the money. That club shouldn't be run into non-existence because of whatever's happened in the last 15 years, if it's happened. But there must be a punishment. I would like to see them, heavily punished if what they've done has given them these league titles. But we'll have to wait and see with that. So I disagree with Pep that people want Man City to be wiped from the face of the earth. It's typical Pep, to be honest. Trying to sensationalise something that isn't actually true. People just want the truth. We want the truth. We want to know what's happened. And if you've cheated, then much the same as other clubs have cheated in the past, you must be dealt with. Look at Juventus in Italy. I was thinking about this the other day. What's the closest thing that sets the precedent of what Man City have done if they get found guilty? Rangers was bankruptcy, wasn't it? They got thrown right to the bottom of the league. There's been a lot of bankruptcy cases. Juventus was... What was Juventus? Was it bribes or was it dodgy dealings? I can't remember with Juventus what they did. I think it was bribes with Juventus, wasn't it? Didn't they... Yeah, well, they got thrown out of the Serie A as well. Match fixing, yeah. Bribery, yeah. That's what a lot of people are saying. Anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the biggest game of the season, whether we like it or not. It is at the moment, and I think that hopefully Arsenal can give us a good game. Barcelona was also bribed, says Greg. Pep is bold, old, and a criminal, says GP. One of those things is true. Two of them are debatable. Do you think we will get top four, says Olmo. In relation to Man United? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Ask me about on the 8 o'clock show when we're talking about United, because I just don't know. I think on that one, it's difficult to... predict on that. Right, this is how you're voting in this game. City win 46%, draw 28%, Arsenal win 25%. So very, very strong minority going for a Manchester City win. Almost half of you, 46%. Arsenal win is the third option here. So there we go. Players are in the tunnel. I don't think I've ever been in that tunnel. I've been in a lot of tunnels, but I've not been in that one. Although it does look familiar. No, I've not been there. Not been there. There's Erling Haaland. Best striker in the world, in my opinion. Guarantee Arteta parks the bus again today, says JM. Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think you're probably right. But I hope Arsenal can give it a game. I really, really do. So much at stake. Massive, massive match of football. Yeah, if you want to beat the best, dedication's what you need. Right, players coming out onto the pitch now. Make sure you subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Please share the video as well. That always helps. Absolute legends. I'm sure they've sold it out today. Yeah, they will have sold it out today. What you got on this week? There is European football this week. I'm doing Man United against 20 on Wednesday night, and that's it. Because there's no Champions League games. They've sort of split the 2 weeks, haven't they? So, yeah, I'm not... I'm not planning on doing anything else. None of the other Carabao Cup games really attract me, if I'm being honest. But I'm going to go stand-up desk. Time to go stand-up. Always wanted to do stand-up. Whoa, 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 I wasn't ready that. Well, I wasn't ready that quick, mate. Let me move my chair. There we go. Oh, I just like watching football standing up. Martinelli needs to be benched due to poor form. Yeah, but Trossard is starting. Oh, got a right headache today. Every time I play computer games, I get a headache. I think it's my brain saying you're too old, Grandad. Haaland. No De Bruyne. Anybody know how long De Bruyne's out for? Rodri, Silva, Gundogan, the midfield three. Savino, Dotko and Haaland. I mean, it's a very good Man City side. He's out for a couple of weeks, says Larry. Thank you very much for that. James says, mate, look, I'm not being disrespectful, James, but you're the second person today asking me about people who talk about me. You know, they've got my number. If they want to talk about me, they can talk. They can pick the phone up. I'll never understand people who speak about people publicly when they could actually speak to them. I mean, there's only one reason for doing that, isn't there? You know, clout and views. So I'm just not interested in that sort of stuff. Mark, comments if players threaten strike, says Whoops. Well, I mean, that's a big conversation for now. Maybe we can talk about it on the podcast tomorrow. Remember, we're live at midday tomorrow on this channel from the Goldbridge Arms. Great start to the week, talking about the week ahead. Oh, look at Arteta. Walks towards Pep and he's nearly going down on his knees. Absolutely. He wants to be sacked there. I always think this. I don't know what Arsenal fans think, but I always think that Arteta is too respectful of Pep. And look, imagine that, right? You're playing a game of football and the opposition are in love with you. It already makes your job easier. And that's what Arteta's like. He's absolutely in love with Pep. And I just think, you know, it's harder if the opposition want to kill you in a competitive sense. You know, if they're aggressive, they don't like you. I think he's too respectful. I haven't really said it this year, but last year I remember saying it. Snickers or Reese's? Definitely Snickers, Armin. Definitely Snickers. Jordan says, if City win, is the race over? Yes. 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 Yeah. Yeah. I think City win this game, by the way. I've got a bad... No! What did I predict? I can't remember what I predicted. No, I think it'll be a draw. I think it will be a draw. I can't see Arsenal winning because I don't think they're going to approach it in the right way. I'm fingers crossed hoping they will. You know why? A lot of people saying it's going to be a draw. I think it's tough to get a draw at Manchester City. I really do. Arteta equals Lego head, says James Dean. Thank you, James. Pep's got a nice jumper on. CP, isn't it? I've got a badge on, but it's not CP. It's Hugo Boss. Oh, God. I went to watch Seb. I did the morning show on the United Stand, then I went to watch Seb play. Midday kickoff. My God. Drenched. I've not known rain like it. I'd have rather been playing. Greg says you missed my super chat. I don't think I did, Greg. I'll go back. Hi, Mark. It's my birthday today. Hope you're doing well. And I'm going down to Old Trafford to watch Spurs on the 29th. Lovely stuff. That's a week today. Happy birthday, mate. And thank you very much for tuning in. I'm excited about this. I'm going to warm up like a kanji. Ready to go. Bernardo Silva's going to kick it off. I'd love it. You know what? I don't think we're going to see it. I really don't think we're going to see it. But I would love to see the day when somebody goes to Man City and beats them at the Etihad, like comprehensively. I'm not saying 5-0, but go to the Etihad and beat them like 2-0 and be the better team. When was the last time that? Oh, no. Oh, no. Arsenal fans, why have you not told me this? Oh, my God. I'm just going to say this now. Michael Oliver, the ref. Oh, no. That is absolutely terrible. And he's got a decision to make here. Rodri's gone down clutching his face. Havertz connects with him. Didn't know Michael Oliver was the ref. Look, I've got a big issue with Michael Oliver and Manchester City. No, there's nothing in that. There's nothing in that. Rodri gets in his way. Rodri should be ashamed with this. It's absolutely... What Rodri's done here is just ridiculous. Up to his old tricks, says Seamus. There's no red card about this at all. Basically, from the kickoff, Rodri moves into the way of Havertz, and Havertz doesn't slow down. Gives him a bit of a body check. It's nothing at all. And at the end of the day, Rodri gets what he deserves for being a prat. Nothing wrong with it. Look how quickly he's got up now. There's nothing wrong with him. What? Rodri steps in front of him, look. There's no reason for it. Stupid. Made yourself look a right prat, mate. Play on. Yeah, but I'd be worried about Michael Oliver because, rightly or wrongly, last season, how many incidents last season was he involved in that helped Man City out? Arteta sees Pep as high school crush. Arteta always seems to overthink City's game. Sometimes it frustrates me as an Arsenal fan, says Bart. Yeah. Oreos or chips? Ahoy, the better cookie. I don't know what chips Ahoy are, man. So I'd have to say Oreos. Mark, what's your favourite buddy movie? Mine is 7. I don't really know. I like my waffles. I don't really know. Leverkusen have got a late winner again, apparently, according to Where Is My Chicken. Thanks everyone who's tuning in, by the way. Massive game in the Premier League today. I just hope Arsenal can be a little bit more on the front foot. Trossard's got to be careful there. Right, just get rid of it. Hi, Mark. First super chat in a while, says Goldio. Hope you're doing well. How are you getting on? Also, why is Oliver still refereeing? A useless cretin, in my opinion, and Pep irritates me. I don't think Michael Oliver should be anywhere near a Man City game of this magnitude, but let's hope he has a good game. Can't believe Oliver is reffing this game. How much do you think City paid to have him ref? Look, can you remember, how many games was he involved in last year? He did the one at the Emirates where Kovacic should have been sent off twice. He did the Fulham game where it was offside and wasn't given offside. He did the Liverpool-Man City game where Liverpool should have got a penalty right at the end. He did the Manchester derby where he was on VAR and said, go and look at that Højlund tug on Haaland, on Rodri, which wasn't. So that's 4 off the top of my head. And I think there was more as well. So he shouldn't be involved, but Saliba and Haaland. I mean, look, it'd be a good game if it's a little bit physical. Doku or two. Oh, I don't know. I'm not getting involved in this at all. Yeah, I don't want to talk about these silly little things that people talk about, so I'm not doing it. Greenish handball in the FA Cup as well, says TTV. Well, he gave that. Do you think you'd make a good referee, says Script? Oh, look, you get things wrong as a referee. No one's going to be perfect, but it's how bad you get it wrong and how consistently you get it wrong is the problem. Would you rather have Michael Oliver ref every game United this season or watch all of Downton Abbey with back-to-back no breaks? I like Downton Abbey, Goldio. So I'll have that, please. I do genuinely quite like Downton Abbey. It's just a simple way of life. Arsenal should persuade Keir Starmer to replace the annual gifted Norwegian Christmas tree in Trafalgar Square with Erling Haaland, says One Nation. Clattenburg protecting City, says Darren Green. Well, Clattenburg's got nothing to do with it. He does the Gladiators. Got nothing to do with it. I think you're talking about Webb. Take what you need. Be on your... How's FPL been this week? I'm on 42 points. Armin, if I told you the truth, this is my problem. Doesn't take me long to completely forget to do my Fantasy Premier League. Didn't do it. Just didn't touch my team. So I got no idea, and it's a shame because I actually did well the week before. Got 26 points. Really, really bad. And I've got nothing on my bench either. Yeah, I've had a really bad week. Absolutely shit. I may as well give up. Absolutely shit. And nothing's going to save me today. Bernardo Silva and Haaland I've got. So, absolutely shit. Spin says, PGMOL yet again. The ref in the Brighton Forest game clearly said he took the ball. Then he sends him off. Anthony Taylor, fourth official. Say no more. Says Spin. Nothing to really say, just saying hello, says Rudolph the Red. Hope you're doing well, mates. I know who you are. Thank you very much. I thought, just in relation, look, there will always be a lot of bad officiating, but sometimes I think we are a little bit... Oh, here we go. Gondowan. Could have been 1-0. Lovely ball into him from Bernardo Silva. Flicked it up over the defender, hit it on the volley and hit it wide. But Arsenal won't like that. It was lovely, lovely play. To be fair, if that had gone in, it would have been a great goal because there's nothing you can do about it. The pass into Gundogan takes him away from Gabriel and then he just misses again like he missed a couple on Wednesday night. Did I watch the Joshua fight? Says Bob. No, I didn't watch it, but my mate, really into boxing, was out watching it in town, messaging me, and I said, and he's a big AJ fan, and I said, I reckon Dubois is going to win. And I sent him that message at about 8:10, and I was right, but doesn't mean anything. I'm sure I'm not the only one who predicted it. I just think AJ is always going to be vulnerable to a good punch, and that's what happened. Nothing. Thank you very much for that. Referee's already lost control of this match, says the HPN. Man City have started off very well. What is Arsenal's defence doing there? 1-0 already. Haaland. I can't believe it. What is Arsenal's defence doing here? You've got to be fuming if you're an Arsenal fan. Fucking hell. What, is it Arsenal or Aldershot? That's fucking rubbish. I mean, look, fair play to Haaland. He'll be absolutely ecstatic. But that's fucking rubbish defending. You cannot leave a gap like... I mean, it's nothing special about that. Shit defending from Arsenal. Absolutely shit. Just really, really bad. I mean, what are they doing? They leave the gap. Gabriel is miles out. Miles out. That's rubbish. It's so rubbish. For a team that prides itself on defence, look at the gap there, mate. I mean, I'm playing that pass. He won't think it's bloody Christmas. I mean, I'm not joking. Savio is looking on the halfway line. Dead centre, Erling Haaland sprinting with about 20 metres gap. Simple pass through, pokes it in the back of the net. Shit, shit, shit defending from Arsenal. People saying, what a goal. Mate, that ain't a great goal. If Gundogan had scored, that's a great goal. That's just shit defending. You can't do that. You can't give a player space to play a pass as big as the ocean to the world's best striker who's just sprinting through. Rubbish. Gabriel's had a shit start. Absolute shit. Do you like the UFC, Mark? And if you do, Jones or Tom? I don't watch it, Oliver, no. I have got Haaland in my fantasy, yeah. Well, I did say an early goal might make the game a little bit more interesting, but Man City have started off well. Good tackle, Declan Rice. As an Arsenal fan, Martinelli needs to prove himself, says it's Louis. He's not being good. What's your thoughts, Mark? I personally prefer Trossard. I prefer Trossard. And White Hammer says, shows the levels with Van Dijk. Well, if you're comparing Van Dijk to Gabriel, yes, that's not Saliba's fault. Saliba actually is playing offside, and Saliba is not the guy marking Haaland. So Gabriel, for some reason, drifts into the left-back position, which leaves the space, and not only that, is deeper than the rest of the Arsenal defence. So he drifts out of position, and then he plays everybody on. So it's completely on Gabriel, that. Watch it back. Leaves Haaland, and then plays everybody on side. HPN says the defence isn't as good as last year. Villa should have put 3 past them if Watkins could have finished. Good point. Good point. Well, you know, this is the thing about Haaland, isn't it? If you give him the service, he's the best striker in the world. And it always makes me laugh when people say, oh, he's one-dimensional. Here's Martinelli. Well, people have said he's got to have a good game. It's not a bad cross. But it's actually... Look, for the game, it's good. There's no parking the bus now, is there? It's got to open up. It's got to open up. Crap, Brielle, says DJ. Oh, no, it says Gap, Riel. There we go. Make sure you subscribe, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner. Got 20,000 watching already. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign, but it's a better start, to be honest. I mean, I don't want Man City to win, but I don't want to watch a bore fest. And I said before the game kicked off, the best thing that could happen from an entertainment point of view is that Man City score first. It could end up being 3 or 4-0, but it makes Arsenal have to open up. And the fact that Arsenal's defence has been impregnated in the first 10 minutes means it's a more interesting game. Jackson or Nunez, Paul, says Reese. Oh yeah, I'll do that for you now. Free kick on the edge of the box. Who's rolling around this time? Savio. He's learnt fast. There's nothing wrong with him. Just get up. Look at that. Bernardo Silva even says, come on, you've won the free kick. Just... Thoughts on Chelsea so far, says Goldio. Very impressive, because I think beating Bournemouth when Bournemouth had more of the ball, more of the chances. You know, West Ham game was quite equal on shots and possession, but they thoroughly deserved the win. So there seems to be more of a steal about Chelsea at the moment. But look, having said that, I think that when you think about Spurs and Villa and Newcastle, Arsenal, etc. Oh, is it the post, Gundogan? Be interesting to see how Chelsea do against teams like that. Jackson had a very good game yesterday, Dark. Yeah. Arsenal need to be careful here. They're like a rabbit in the headlights, or a deer in the headlights. Yeah, I can't do... Look, I tell you, what are you asking me to do another poll for when we just started another one? I can't, you know, just give it a few minutes. And anyway, we're not doing that poll. Kane or Haaland? Are you drunk? Come on. Harry Kane or Erling Haaland? Is that real? Is there another Haaland that you want me to do? Erling Haaland versus Harry Kane? Fucking hell. Mark, it's my birthday. Can I get a Gary Barlow to Elliot? Also, should be called the PGMOL because they do nothing extreme, but when they do, it's laughable. Thanks, WDP. Happy birthday. Hope you're doing well. Happy birthday to Elliot. What's Oliver doing here? Kane's a better all-round striker, says Red Devil. Did you watch the Euros? No. Absolutely not. Haaland's better than Kane. In fact, I would love Erling Haaland to be English. He's doing it. Look, they're doing it again. Another one down in the box. What's wrong with Rodri? Oh, actually, hold on a minute. Is he going for a penalty or is he actually injured? What happens with Rodri here then? Well, I don't know whether he's playing for a penalty or he's actually just gone and done his knee. Yeah, no, I think he actually, to be fair to Rodri, I think he's genuinely done his knee, because Partey's, you're not winning a penalty for that, so there's no point in him staying down just to dive. This is trouble. It's like the boy who cries wolf, isn't it? You know, he's done it with Havertz. He's done it a lot in his career, and I actually think he's genuinely hurt here, but a lot of us, me included, I'll put my hand up and I'll say, what's he diving for here? And actually, I think he might have actually hurt himself. Because it's definitely not a penalty. How's the puppy, Mark? Are we going to get to see it, says Armin? I would love to bring it in, but it would probably piss all over my carpet. So I'll try it. It's not a little puppy anymore. It's grown massively. Yeah, I think Rodri might be in trouble here. Unless they tell him it's not a penalty and he gets up really quickly. No, he's definitely hurt. That looks like a bad one for Rodri. Players tend to know. Oh no. I'm trying to see. He doesn't look very happy, does he? Don't you think foundations set by Poch helped Maresca? Back end of last season, Chelsea had the second best record in the Premier League since Dead Zone. Yeah, I don't think they should have got rid of Poch, but he's gone, isn't he? I think that was a mistake, but they're doing well at the moment. Mark, I said it in the Chelsea and Man City game, but it's not teams defending bad against Man City. It's just absolutely Man City brilliance that makes teams defending look amateur. What's your thoughts, says Abraham? I think you're wrong. I think you're wrong. I don't think the Man City goal was brilliant. I think if Gundogan's chance had gone in, it was brilliant. You can't defend that. I think Gabriel going to sleep and moving out to left back and leaving a gap, that's not brilliant by Man City. Watch. Gabriel comes too far here. He's like, oh shit, I fucked up. And he's out of position. That's not brilliant play. That's just losing your man. Brilliant finish. Bad defending. If Gabriel had stayed with Haaland there, that doesn't happen. Some people are saying it could be ACL. Good play by Savio, though. He did do well off the touchline, but Gabriel's just fucked up there. Pep's happy. Hopefully, he will be back for the Championship opener in 2025, says Jimmy. Well, the fact that he's walking off, I don't actually think that's as bad as some people think it is. Well, it can't be as bad as some people think it is because he's coming off, but you wouldn't be walking off. Well, you can walk off with an ACL, but you wouldn't think Man City would do that. They'd put him on a stretcher, wouldn't they? Rodri or Haaland, whose injury would ruin City's season, says Oms. Great question. Great question. I mean, I actually think it's a great question because I think they can cope without both. I mean, they're big players, but I still think they'd score goals without Haaland. I'd say Haaland's the bigger loss just because of the amount of goals he scores, but I still think they could win the league without Haaland. I still think they can win the league without Rodri. Good play by Partey. Did Haaland toe punt it in, says Kevin? Yeah, you can. I think he did. Kovacic is on. Oh, that's a free hit. He'll be red card tackling all game now. Never going to get sent off. Bernardo just kicked the ball away and didn't get a yellow. Yeah, he won't do. Goal! Goal! Calafiori! Viva Italia! That's French. Bellissimo! It's a goal! Absolute banger! Banger! Banger, banger, banger! Absolutely brilliant! Chitty, chitty, bang, bang! Absolutely fantastic! Dick Van Dijk! Oh, they're surrounding the referee! Get your yellow card out! Get your yellow card out, Oliver! Book 'em! Surrounding the referee! Surrounding the referee! What a hit! Look at Pep! Shut up! Have it! Calafiori with an absolute banger! I don't know what happened. They took the free kick quick. Oh, he's onside. They took it quick. Martinelli lays it back to Calafiori. What a hit. Absolutely world class. Well, I don't know what Man City are moaning about. I don't know what they're moaning about. Gino Ginelli. Absolutely fantastic. Do they still make Gino Ginelli? Yeah, it's a brilliant hit by Calafiori. You're not saving those. You don't save those. Pep's kicked the chair. Ah, look at that. Angry Pep. Game on! I don't know what Man City were moaning about. Just crowding the referee. Yellow card for Edison. Good game, good game. It is a bit of a tinderbox at the moment. It's going off a little bit out there, and that's good. Unbelievable. City crowding the ref again. Even Edison was up there, for goodness sake. Edison did get booked. He must have got booked for that, but I'd booked more than one. Bryce Jones says, I did my ACL and continued to play the game and didn't know it was torn for a week, says Bryce. Arsenal park the bus now. Well, yeah. We'll have to wait and see. Edison kit reminds me of Neapolitan ice cream. Can't unsee it, says Gems. I used to have that a lot on a Sunday. That was a Sunday dessert. That was. Well, Arsenal need to switch on defensively now because it wasn't good before then. We've already had 24 minutes here. 25,000 watching. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. You're very welcome. What a goal by Calafiori. I don't really get what... Goldio says Calamari deserves more respect. Calamari is very nice. I don't know whether you're talking about the feud or you have misspelt Calafiori. Calamari is very nice. Battered squid rings, isn't it? Not squid. Is it squid? Nice. I like it. Want anything else we want? Want anything else we want from the shot, Mark? Because Arteta is going to shot it now, says Chris. Thanks for your super chat, Chris. And apparently the City players moaning about where the free kick was taken from, says Alex. Jog on. You don't crowd the referee for that. Well, Rodri's off. De Bruyne was never fit. City went 1-0 up and it's now 1-1. You've got to think, Arsenal, if they want this, they might not get a better chance. Now, that's not to say that Man City are vulnerable, but no De Bruyne, no Rodri. You've just come from 1-0 down. You've just scored a banger. If you can't believe now, when can you believe? I'm with Andrew Lee. Arsenal should go for it. But it's a deep line again here as Man City have the ball. Bernardo Silva crosses it in. Edge of the box. Kovacic. It would be so funny if a ref sent these dicks off for surrounding him. Such an unlikable group of players, says Jace. Makes me laugh all these other fans say with delusional. Smoke on that, pricks. Come on, you gooners, says Slow Money. Galactic says, I think Arsenal need to just go for it. Foden's on the bench, Sinesta. Martinelli. Gets double teamed by Kovacic and Walker. Savio. So I tell you what, Savio does remind me a lot of Mahrez, who I thought was a fantastic player for Man City. Bit of a nothing ball, but Havertz nearly got on the end of it. It's Doku. Good tackle by Saka. Give us your thoughts. This is how United and Arsenal games would be. Competitive and physical, says Vabaf. Darwin Nunez beat Jackson 58% to 42% on an either or. Thank you very much for that. Self-proclaimed mentality monsters surrounding the ref to complain that they got caught out, says Blake. Well, Arsenal might get caught out. Savio, well up by Saliba. He's having a good game, Savio, for Man City. Another good signing for Manchester City. Surprise, surprise. And here he is again. Needs to be an outball for Arsenal here. Because it's just coming back every time. We can't do this for 70 minutes. All Man City at the moment. I call him Savio, Liam. It's allowed. It's allowed. Don't start with all that shit again. It's Savino. You can call him Savio. It's all right. Yeah, he did come from their sister club, to be fair. No one else was going to get hold of him. 72% for Man City, as you can see. Pep's number 2 gives me flashbacks of Kevin Keegan, says Chris. And Ryan says, if Arsenal had a striker with pace, they're champions. They need that dynamic, especially in a game like this. It's a good point, actually. You know, if you had a pacey striker in this system, it would just give something for Man City to have a think about. But they've got Kyle Walker, who's always going to help them out. What have Arsenal got in the attack? Perfect. It's a very good point. In a game like this, a Haaland or someone like that would be perfect. Or an Isak, someone like that. Just pure pace on the break. But since the goal, it has gone a bit back to what everybody thought this game was going to be. Defence against attack. Savio is not going to get that. I thought he'd pulled his hamstring for a minute there, but I think he just stopped running. Shutting up shop would be foolish for Arsenal. City always find a way through. It's when teams get at them, they struggle, says Lee Berman. And City were crowding the ref because they're pissed they're not playing Ipswich again, says Robbo. I just saw it back there. They're just showing it back there. I don't see what Man City are moaning about. Kyle Walker wants to be back in position. So basically, Kyle Walker's moaning because he's not back in position when the free kick's taken. Well, last time I checked the rule book, it doesn't say that a free kick can't be taken quick unless Kyle Walker's not in position. So I don't know what your point is, mate. Favourite Grand Tour, Top Gear Special, says Goldio. Don't watch it. Hi, Marco. I just got Domino's deal. 2 large pizzas, 2 sides and dessert for myself. Okay. Gym heavy day, sesh, so it's justified. I'm all in. Thank you very much. Enjoy. A lot of people saying, Mark, you're not being fair. The referee called Kyle Walker over and then let the free kick get taken before he was back in position. Cry me a river. Cry me a river. How many things have gone your way in the last 12 months? I'm sure you can live with Kyle Walker not being in position for a free kick. Anyway, they didn't score directly from the free kick. Martinelli had it and Walker got back. Score prediction. Could end 1-1. I went with a draw before the game. Just depends whether Man City can get themselves going again, and whether Arsenal can switch on defensively, because the goal from Man City comes from them not switching on. And at that point, Man City were dominant. Obviously, Rodri's gone off. Hi, Mark. Can you say Liverpool win the league this year? Says 5-star. Yellow card? What's this for? He pulled his shirt a bit, didn't he? Yeah, you are going to get a yellow card for that, to be fair. Trossard booked, pulled a shirt. Thanks everyone who's tuning in. Make sure you subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner. Ten minutes to go to half-time. Interesting first half. It's died down a little bit in the last 10 minutes, to be fair. Arsenal, I mean, literally, it's 11 men behind the ball. And it's very deep. Good play by Doku. Ooh, not a bad shot. I think he wants a corner as well. And he's got it. Calafiori scored for Arsenal. Who am I? Mark, have you watched Clarkson's Farm? Yeah, I do enjoy that jar bar drinks, yeah. I did enjoy that. Corner to City. Savio's on it. Raya likes a high claim. Can't come for that, but headed away by Havertz. Kyle Walker with a bad header. Trossard. Right. This is where you've got to move. Nah, it's too slow, Declan. It's too slow. Look at Martinelli. Doku just kicked the ball away right in front of the ref. No yellow, says Alec Miller. I think to be fair, Alec, I think I know what you're talking about. I'm pretty sure he was kicking it back to where the free kick should have been taken, but I'll stand corrected if I'm wrong. Scott Jones, thank you very much for your super chat. United stand tonight at the normal time, Greg, yes. They've just put up a stat of Man City without Rodri. Points per game, 1.9. With Rodri, 2.6. They've not lost a game out of the last 48 games with him. All their losses have come without him. Here's Timber into Saka. And he wins a corner. Swedish Finn says, hi Mark, hopefully you're well. Have you heard about Matt LeBlanc? Hope he's well. No. Apparently he's become a recluse. Cowboys versus Ravens at 9:30. Will you watch it, Mark? Says Aaron. I normally do, Aaron. I normally whack it on. I hope you're well. Normally do whack it on later on tonight. Oh, Gabriel, back post. I think he'd given a foul anyway. Arsenal and their set pieces, specifically corners, they're very good at them. But I get the sense Michael Oliver was given a foul here. He's pointing at something. I think Saliba blocks Edison. I mean, Edison was never going to get that anyway, is my argument. Is that any worse than what Newcastle did to Arsenal last season? Ty says, what's your thought on the fight last night? I wasn't surprised. Didn't actually watch it, but I wasn't surprised when I heard what happened. Thanks for your super chat, Ty. We're only 10 subscribers away from 253,000, by the way. So please do subscribe. Everyone's welcome on That's Football. Get your comments in. Subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. Mark, the commentary just compared this rivalry to Arsenal versus United back in the day, says Alexander. Oh, my God. They should be sacked. Whoever came up with that idea and agreed with it should be sacked on the spot. Look, for a start, football's not the same anymore. Like, you can't have, we're talking about Vieira and Keane in the tunnel. We're talking about pizza being thrown at Sir Alex Ferguson by Arsenal players at Old Trafford. We're talking about managers that couldn't stand each other. How can you compare this timid shit? Two managers that are in love with each other, Pep and Arteta. A team that always parks the bus against the other. And they like each other. There's no respect. This is not anywhere near that rivalry. I'm sorry, it's not. This is what idiots do. They try and, make something that's not as good. Oh, it's just like this. It's not. Nostalgia's a hell of a drug, says Nick. Exactly. Thanks for that super chat, Alexander, by the way. Lovely ball there into Calafiori. Nice play by Arsenal. First touch is the way. That's exactly the way. Well done. Man City still. Look how hard Man City work, though, to get back. Now, Arsenal have just played a really good 6-pass move. They've got about 20 yards further up the pitch, and Man City have got everyone in position. They work so hard without the ball. Has anything happened with the 115 case, says Sean? Well, they've had a week, but it's not open to the public, so we don't know what's been said. Yeah, Cranium makes a good point as well. That rivalry between Man United and Arsenal was actually based on two teams that were winning the league. Last time I checked, Arsenal haven't won a title yet. I mean, it's crap punditry, that. To compare Man United and Arsenal's rivalry in the late 90s with this, that's poor. That's really poor. Here's Saka. Nicely ball into Trossard. Easily away by Diaz. Arsenal and Man City clear. Can Declan Rice score for Arsenal and win for Arsenal? Says Scott Jones. I hope so. Martinelli up against Walker. We're never going to get past him because of his pace. It's Calafiori into Partey. Gabriel. Turn it. We've got 41 minutes. Gabriel. He needs somebody in the box. Martinelli. Holds it up. Oh, just over the bar. Good play from Arsenal. Cut back cross to Trossard. I mean, this is what I think Arsenal need to do more of. I mean, there's nothing wrong with what they've done there. They've played a few good passes. They've worked it into the box. They've had a chance. I don't see the point in sitting back. I really don't. Would it not be fairer to say that despite the respect being there between them, that Klopp and Pep was a better rivalry than this? Well, exactly, Connor. The Liverpool-Man City rivalry, I'm sorry. I mean, look, I want Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to win the league. I don't want Man City to win it. But Liverpool and Man City's rivalry 3 or 4 years ago is bigger than this because of the points tallies they got and the fact that Liverpool actually did win a league title. Here's Saliba. You know, they've got to win a league. At least Ten Hag has the balls to make the game competitive, says Abhijit. Barry says, have you ever used Mark Goldbridge with things like a bank account? How would I do that, Barry? How would that even work? Momentum shifting Arsenal's way, says the Spurs way. Oh, that's next week. I thought they had Bournemouth Southampton tomorrow night. Monday Night Football. I wouldn't watch it anyway. They can put it on anyway. I don't care what night they put it on. Top 5 predictions, says Tommy. Well, I think it will be Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool. At the moment, I'll say Chelsea and Villa. It's early days, though. I mean, it's too early, but at the moment, I'd say Chelsea Villa. I think Newcastle have had a very good start to the season without playing well, and I think a lot of Newcastle fans would agree with that. You know, yesterday they had 3 wins and a point. Fulham really deserved to win yesterday. Fulham played very well. But, you know, you look at Newcastle, down to 10 men against Southampton. They got the win. Bournemouth, they got a point where they nearly got beat. Spurs, again, Spurs probably shouldn't have lost that. So I think Newcastle, 10 points from 15 will probably be quite happy. Because I don't think Newcastle have actually started off as well as their points suggest. I think they are better. Nice ball by Rice into Saka there. Still got a lot to do. Where's he going to go? Into Rice. Cut back. Corner. Go on, you got time. You got time. Jay says, how do you think Tottenham are going to do? I think that game a week today, Man United, Spurs, massive. Whoever loses that, it'll be a draw, won't it? But whoever loses that has got problems, haven't they? Because both those teams need to be fighting for top 4. Corner to Arsenal. They're good at corners. We know this. We know this. Let's see what happens. And it comes from Saka. Goal! 2-1! Arsenal! They've done it again from a set piece. Dreams can come true. It's Gabriel. What songs does she sing? I'm a survivor. No, she doesn't sing that. She says, dreams can come true. Look at me, babe, I'm with you. You know you got to have dreams. You know you got to be strong. 2-1 Arsenal. What an absolute... You've got to give the set-piece coach a raise. Give the set-piece coach a raise, because I'm telling you now, you know it's coming. Everybody knows it's been coming all season. What a cross by Saka. What a header by Gabriel. They've done the clever goalkeeper thing again. They've blocked the goalkeeper off. Martinelli. I mean, he does block him off, but you can't not give that. We're not reinventing the rules now. You know, Vicario is going to go mad if that gets overruled, because that's been happening ever since January. People have been blocking off goalkeepers. You can't rule that off now. You can't be changing the rules because it's City. People have been doing that for months now, blocking off the goalkeeper. It's just part of the game. You got to give it. Do I think it's a foul? I probably do, but the PGMOL changed that back in January. Goal given, 2-1. City and Liverpool had iconic games unlike Arsenal, says Master Folder. Well, game on here. Man City. They did check the foul by Martinelli on the keeper, and it's not been given because they know they can't give the foul. They've changed the rules on goalkeepers. And Arsenal have been one of the biggest benefactors from that. But you know what? You've got to give credit to Arsenal, because it's not easy to... You know, they're so good. Ruben Diaz got a yellow card for dissent as well. What's going on? They're so good at set pieces, Arsenal. So good. Absolutely brilliant. Man City are in shambles without Rodri, says Nelly. Long way to go. Very long way to go. Kevin Carter says Arsenal have got City rattled. I think Arsenal have got to still look to make attacks. I don't think you can just sit back. They've still got to go on the front foot. 6 minutes added on. Arsenal are brilliant at set pieces. I mean, Spurs last week, 1-0. Again, this week. You know it's coming, but you can't defend it. And look, honestly, you can't defend good corners. The way Saka makes that hang up in the back post, you're basically making it a 50-50. And if you haven't got somebody who's good in the air, you're going to get dominated. The thing is, it's not even like it's Gabriel. Like, it's one player, really. Saliba can do it, but Gabriel's the man, and they still can't target. They can't stop him. Did Glazers get Arabs next door to buy Brady for Buccaneers to win the Super Bowls with knowledge United never compete in the Champions League and the EPL since they've moved in next door? I don't know what you're talking about, mate. By the way, that was from Cooney. And by the way, I admire your work, but I'm off for now as Barcelona is about to play Villarreal. It's a Swedish Finn. Thank you very much. Yes, Rodri has gone off for Manchester City. City aren't what they used to be. Arsenal and United know how to play against them, exploit the wings, and you've got a good chance, says Raz. No, I wouldn't be writing Man City off. Jimmy says, what's a bigger loss, Rodri or Odegaard? Well, it's a big loss for Arsenal, Odegaard. Long way to go, but if Arsenal can win at Spurs and City without Odegaard, that's what's at play here. Go to your biggest rival and win, then go to the title holders and win without Odegaard, who is also the captain. That would be massive. Eri says, I'm buying Gabriel for my FPL. Yeah, I think we've all missed the train on that one if we haven't got him. And the great thing for Arsenal is if they'd have took a point before the game, Man City have got to score twice from here to win. Ah, that wasn't a foul. Play on. Still 3 minutes to go. Sorry, my maths are shit. Still 2 minutes to go before half time. 6 minutes added on. Thomas says English teams will struggle to understand what they can't get away with in can't get away in Europe. That's a foul, has been a foul, and will be a foul outside of England. Yeah, I agree, Thomas. But look, mate, take away Man City and Arsenal. I said this in January. The PGMOL, halfway through last season, basically Christmas, suddenly changed the rules. It was the Burnley goalkeeper, James Trafford, got absolutely clattered against, was it Bournemouth? It was a blatant foul, and they gave the goal. And from that moment, the PGMOL decided that you can clatter into the goalkeeper. So that's definitely a goal. Pep can't come out and moan about that because we've known this for 9 months. It was Luton. I think it is a foul. I think when you block the goalkeeper off like that deliberately and you're not, Martinelli's nowhere near the ball. It's clever, and Arsenal have been doing it for a while, but you can't. It's not Arsenal's fault. That's a yellow card, Partey. It's the officiating in this country have decided that you can do that, and fair play Arsenal for taking advantage of it. But in Europe, you're right, it would be a foul. Definitely yellow card for Partey there. He's late. Now the 115 is more reality. The refs aren't willing to grant City as many special favours. They're damaged goods, says Robbo96. And Kartik says it's scary how Arsenal crowd the goalkeeper every time they take a corner. Refs have to do something about it. But the refs, that's what I'm saying, the referees created it by allowing it to happen. Craig says that Kyle Walker's at fault for both goals. It's a great point by Thomas Hopley, though. He sent Trossard off. What? Oh, I'll tell you what. Oliver is a disgrace if he's got this wrong. Another big call for City. Arsenal fans, you've got to do something about this. Absolutely. I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it, so I don't know what the second yellow's for. So hold your horses here. Some people are saying it should have been a red. No, you don't. That's not a second yellow. That's not a second yellow. He's gone for the ball. I just think that's not a second yellow. That's so fucking soft. It's two players going for the ball, shoulder barge. It's not a second yellow. It's a foul. It's not a second yellow. It's just... It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. In a game of this magnitude. Check the bank account, says Dino. In a game this big. I mean, look, bottom line is we had a really good game on our hands and a referee takes it for themselves. Just absolutely. If there's one thing I always say, please, in the big games, don't let the referee be the person. And I'm telling you now, get ready for the rant. Last season, against Fulham, Man City, offside goal, given. Who was the referee? Michael Oliver. Last season, soft penalty in the Manchester derby. On-field referee doesn't give it. VAR says have a look at it. Who's on the VAR? Michael Oliver. Last season, Kovacic, 2 red card tackles, neither given against Arsenal with Man City. Who was the referee? Michael Oliver. Last season, virtually last kick of the game, 1-1 at Anfield. Doku takes fucking McAllister out of the game. No penalty. Who was the referee? Michael Oliver. The list of things that go against Michael Oliver that help Man City are shocking. And in this game of this magnitude, you've got 2 players going up for the same ball. One of them wins with a shoulder barge. It's a bit physical, but it's a shoulder barge. You're giving him a second yellow card in a game of this magnitude that could be a title decider. And you decide a shoulder barge is now going to be a second yellow. Absolute twat. There ain't nobody apart from Man City fans who are going to be shouting second yellow card there. So tell me then, if only Man City fans are going to be shouting for a second yellow card and the referee gives the second yellow card, why have we not got a right to say, oh, here we go again? Because you're not going to get a Watford fan, you're not going to get a Liverpool fan going, yeah, I think that should be a second yellow. It's completely going to be Man City fans going, that should be a second yellow. And that's what he's done. Shocking. Absolutely shocking. I'm tired of it. Every fucking week. Every week, these shit officials make it about them. We've just had a really good half of football. Man City go 1-0 up. Arsenal make it 1-1. Then it's 2-1. And at half-time, we're talking about a fucking referee again. The biggest game of the season, and a referee makes it about them. This is the problem with fucking officiating in this country. The referees have to make it about them. Let the game flow. Let the game be the game. You don't need to get involved. I'll tell you what. Everybody who's saying that's a second yellow card, well, let's go back through the half then. How many Man City players should have been booked for crowding the referee, for kicking the ball away? Oh, no, that doesn't matter, because that's a second yellow for Trossard. It's been going on all half. He's a fucking joke, that referee. I said it at the start. Check my Twitter timeline. At 4:30, I said, oh no, Michael Oliver's in charge. Unfortunately, rightly or wrongly, he's got an absolute Wikipedia page list of decisions that have gone in City's favour. And here we go again. Absolutely shite. Liam says he's kicked the ball away. If that's not a second yellow card, then I don't know what is. But we've seen a Man City player kick the ball away in this game. Bernardo Silva did it in the first 20 minutes. He didn't get booked. So stop writing the rules to fit your fucking script. If everybody's getting booked for kicking the ball away, fine. But why is it only Arsenal players? Why are only Arsenal players getting booked for kicking the ball away this year? I saw Bernardo Silva do it in the first 20 minutes. Last time I checked, he wasn't booked. So don't talk to me about, oh, we kicked the ball away. It seems to me, if you've got an Arsenal shirt on, you kick the ball away, it's a yellow card. If you've got a Man United shirt on, like Delo, you kick the ball away, it's a yellow card. If you've got a Man City shirt on, no, it's not a yellow card. That's the problem. If you want to do these things, be fucking consistent. But no, it's a big moment for me to be the star of the show. Knobhead. Oh. And it's the same referee that in this game last year at the Emirates let Kovacic do two red card challenges and kept him on the pitch, probably because he thought it was a big game. But in this match, no, we're not going to do that. It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. And, you know, again, it's all about opinion, but you won't change my opinion on it. I'm fed up of it. The list is too long. It's too long at this point. And you'll get bloody Lineker and Neville going, oh, you know what, we got to back the PGMOL, he has kicked the ball away. But it's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the consistency of it. If every player who kicks the ball away gets a yellow card, fucking fine. But it's not everybody who gets the ball kicked away, is it? And why is it we don't give a yellow card to somebody who's got no yellow card for kicking the ball away, but we're very happy to do it when they've already got a yellow card and we know it's going to get them sent off? That's the second time Arsenal have had players sent off for kicking the ball away when they're on a yellow card. But if you're a Man City player on no yellow cards, you don't get it. It's a joke. And look, Howard Webb will be loving it. I'm sure all the pundits will say it's very good refereeing, but they won't go back and look at when it's happened in other areas of the game. Knobheads. Did you miss me yesterday, says Scott McTominay. Commentators are crucifying Trossard's stupidity, says Robert. Haaland cleaned Saliba out and made no attempt to play the ball. No yellow, says Matthew. Oliver is probably one of the lawyers for City, says Nezzy. Journalists are complicit in covering up the corruption, pretending it's incompetence, need to call it out. City are doing a Juventus, says Tar. Mate, I don't care what anybody says because there is no litigation. There can't be litigation on opinion like this. I said it before the game. I said, oh no, Michael Oliver's in charge. Rightly or wrongly, there is a list against him that is bigger than anybody else that seems to just be always helping Manchester City out. I'm not saying he's on the payroll at all. I'm not saying he's a Man City fan at all. But the list is massive. And it's happened again. He shouldn't be the referee. Don't recognise football anymore. It's ruined, says Glenn. Robinson Crusoe says, this is a farce. I get up at 2 a.m. to watch stupid referees. Kovacic last year. I mean, Bernardo Silva literally here. Watch this. I'm just going to rewind. You know, right. They're showing the Calafiori goal. The best thing about this is Sky won't even see it. Calafiori's goal, right? Partey gets fouled by Rodri. Watch what Bernardo Silva does with the ball. Runs away with it. Runs away with the ball. It's literally just been on my TV. Partey gets fouled. Arsenal go to get the ball. And Bernardo Silva dribbles it away. Oh, no yellow card for him, though. Yellow was kicking it away, says Anil. Absolute joke. Absolute joke. Oh, dear. Well, it's going to be very hard for Arsenal now. Very, very hard now. Trossard went to play the ball after thinking he won the challenge. Clearly, he didn't kick the ball away. Bananas, says Colin. I haven't seen the kick away. James says you're deluded. Well, one person's delusion is another person's intelligence. Get City... Here we go. So, that's not a yellow card for me from Trossard. Oh, I don't think he does it for kicking the ball away. I think that is Michael Oliver with a stiffy getting really excited about I'm going to be on the back pages again. I think he's an egomaniac who loves being on the back pages. I go back to Man City against Man United at the Etihad years ago. Chris Smalling gets sent off, right? 2 yellow cards. I can't even remember if they were yellow cards. He sends Chris Smalling off for 2 yellow cards in the Manchester derby. There is an incident that happens around that time on the halfway line. Joe Hart's in goal for Man City. He runs the length of the pitch, puts his forehead on the referee, doesn't even get booked. I mean, inadvertently, that's another Man City beneficial decision from Michael Oliver. But this is what I mean. He's an egomaniac. He's got no consistency. He sees an opportunity and it's just not consistent. So he'll go, in his head, he'll go, that's a shoulder barge. I can justify a yellow. Or he'll have seen the ball getting kicked away and he'll go, I can justify a yellow. And he's already on a yellow. This is a big decision. My name up in lights, red card. Do you think he gets home tonight and goes, oh no, not again. I'm being picked on again for making a controversial decision. Do you genuinely think he sat at home going, oh no, why am I being picked on again? He obviously enjoys doing it. Why would you keep doing it? You know, he knows when he pulls that out, he's going to be massively unpopular, but he still does it. US commentators and pundits are absolutely destroying the referee, says Ryan. Well, he's destroyed the game. Ultimately, he's destroyed the game. He doesn't need to do that. I can't wait for Howard Webb to justify this, because if you're not going to look at the whole game, then it's flawed. There are numerous shoulder barges that haven't had a yellow card, and the ball has been kicked away by other people. The noob says it's rigged. Michael Oliver has sent off Arsenal players 7 times in his career. I'm willing to bet he hasn't sent off more than 2 City players, says Ben. For the atrocious sending off, make it 116 charges, says Artistic. Schmeichel on Viaplay, a ref has done a lot of damage. Viaplay, Doku did the same. Arsenal protested and ref said he won't give yellow to him, says Narrow. I didn't see the Doku kicking the ball away, to be honest, so I can't comment on that. But I did see Bernardo Silva jog away with the ball. Trossard went to play the ball after thinking he won the challenge. Clearly he didn't kick the ball away. It's bananas, says Colin. Yellow was kicking it away, says Anil. No consistency, says Matthew. You got to book every player for kicking the ball away. Convenient, he starts to enforce it when a player is on a yellow. It's weird. This is my point. Paolo says the PGMOL and the FA don't care. This is corruption. Man City always get help. Non-existing penalties, offsides, no yellows to Rodri. Crowd the referee. Smells like the bribe, says Kevin back. And Doku kicked McAllister as well as kicking the ball away. Guess who the ref was? No consistency, says grumpy old heckler. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that. Look, what I will say, I don't know because I'm not listening, but if you're watching Sky, I'd be stunned if anybody comes out and speaks like we do, because they have bi-weekly meetings, as do the radio stations, with the PGMOL every 2 weeks. And effectively in them meetings, it's about, you know, how do we calm things down? How do we support each other? So they're not going to really come out against them because they toe the party line, you know, which is why Gary Neville last year, when Forest were moaning about the decisions at Everton, he basically said, what did he? I can't remember what he said, but I know he got himself into trouble. Just reveal you're an Arsenal fan, says Matthew. Well, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I'm somebody that's been very, 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 very consistent about a poor officiating for the last 18 months. There is no consistency, mate. And I hope it happens to your club next week, because it's happening all the time. A lot of people saying, Paul, should Trossard have been sent off? Yes or no? I need a drink. I need a red wine. I'm going to ask for a wine. All the pundits said, you just can't do that. They're both really soft yellow cards, though. The first one was a shirt pull. He's not kicking the ball away, though, is he? He's not really kicking the ball away in that situation. I think he's giving it for the foul. I don't think he's giving it for the kicking of the ball away. I really don't. I think he's giving it for that. You know, every time you watch it, I'm just stunned. Absolutely stunned. I just don't see it. Just don't see it. I think it's a red all day, says Brian. Brian, can I just say, you know, obviously I've had a bit of a rant here, but Brian, all I'm going to say to you about this is, if it's a red all day, why didn't Bernardo Silva get a yellow and why didn't Doku get a yellow? And you can't come back at that. That's it. Mic drop. Why is it why does he get a yellow, a second yellow or a yellow, but Doku and Silva don't? And you can't answer that. So your logic is flawed. If you're not having consistency, if there is no consistency, there is bias. And you can't have bias. Because that's where conspiracy lies. So if it's a second yellow for Trossard for kicking the ball away, why didn't Doku get one? And why didn't Bernardo Silva get one in the very same game? Why is it in 3 incidents of kicking the ball away, the only one who gets it wears an Arsenal shirt and he's on a yellow already? That's the problem, Brian. You can't sit there and honestly tell me there's no doubt it's a red card, because if he's been sent off for kicking the ball away, as Doku there, look, kicks the ball away, no yellow card. It's just been shown on the TV. Mad. Absolute mad. Absolutely mad. Players are coming out here. Well, it's going to be very hard for Arsenal. I mean, it's an absolute shit show. Thank you very much. Did you see it?
Oh, yeah.
What did you think?
You
didn't see the red card?
All right.
Yeah, I didn't see. Wait, who got it?
Arsenal. Don't worry about it then. What did you think?
It's a bit harsh.
Yeah, there we go. Mrs. Goldbridge thinks it's a bit harsh. This is an absolute shit show and the PGML don't have a leg to stand on. Simple as that. Yeah, but, you know, back to the game. The reality is the reality. It's going to be very, very, very... I mean, I think City win this now. I think it's virtually impossible to play with 10 men for 45 minutes against Manchester City at the Etihad and not get beat. And I think it could end up being 4-2. I think it's going to be very, very hard. I'm just going to leave it at that. 70% of you say it wasn't a red. It shouldn't have been sent off, and 30% of you say it should do. Look, honestly, I can sit here and honestly say you can justify why it's a yellow card for kicking the ball away. Of course you can. I don't think it should be a yellow card, but you can justify it. But the big, big, big hurdle is in a game of this magnitude where Man City are the favourites and, you know, they're winning the league all the time. You cannot have a backdrop of giving a yellow card to an Arsenal player for kicking the ball away, but not giving it to 2 Man City players for kicking the ball away. You can't have that. You know, it would be bad enough if an Arsenal fan said he's getting a second yellow card for kicking the ball away, but last week a Man City player did it and didn't get a yellow card. That's bad enough. But in the same game, it's disgusting. It's absolutely disgusting that in the same game, you've got 2 Man City players kicking the ball away and not getting booked. And then you get an Arsenal player who kicks the ball away on a yellow card and he decides to send him off. It's not right. It's not right. It's absolutely... And they don't have a leg to stand on. So I wait for Howard Webb to justify this, because when he says... He'll be sat there now thinking, how am I going to word this to make sure that we get this right? Because I wouldn't be surprised if they started to bring in the shoulder barge, because they've got to differentiate between Doku's kicking of the ball away and Trossard's kicking of the ball away, and you can't. They both kick the ball away. So I don't know. In the US, commentators said the PGML said that the PGL for kicking the ball away, but on the field they said Oliver told the VAR was for a reckless foul. I think he did do it for the foul, and it wasn't reckless. It was a shoulder barge. That is never a yellow card in a million years. You don't give somebody a yellow card for a strong shoulder barge. You know, that, and I reckon they'll go down that road because they've got to move it away from kicking the ball away because we've got the evidence of Doku. So I think they will change it to the, oh, he was sent off for the shoulder barge, which makes it even worse. TV said it was for delaying the restarts, as Gary. He is the referee that didn't send Kovacic off twice last season, Flynn, yes. Marcel says as well, 6 minutes added on, and in the 8th minute we get a second yellow card. Absolute shit show. I didn't track the time, to be fair, Marcel. Anthony Doyle says it's the same referee that didn't send off Kovacic last season. Udit said, who scored article today? Oliver's City's bias. Mate, I didn't even know he was the referee. And I think the horrible thing, if you're an Arsenal fan, is when I saw it was Michael Oliver and most of this chat saw it was Michael Oliver, even though we don't support Arsenal, you're like, fucking hell, he shouldn't be anywhere near this game. Gary Neville said it was a red. Yeah, but Gary Neville probably doesn't like Arsenal much, does he? Look, Gary Neville can say what he likes. He sits on a very... he sits on a throne of popularity and praise and, you know, of unaccountability. Gary Neville's wrong. He's absolutely wrong, and he can't justify it. He's wrong. You could beat my puppy could beat Gary Neville in an argument about this. He can't win the argument. He can't win the argument. If you were Arteta, what are you saying at half time, Mark, says Sully? Look, if you're the coach, it's a great question. You can't labour under injustice because it gets in your players' heads. You've got to say, look, it's 2-1. If we get a point out of this game, well done. They're going to attack. We can't attack anymore. We've just got to defend for 45 minutes. It's a horrible job, but that's all we can do. We can't attack. We've just got to defend. And Man City are going to have chance after chance after chance, and we're going to have to put in an absolute worldie of a performance defensively. It's very, very difficult. But, you know, you've got to believe you can do it. Nelly says he's an undisputed idiot of the world, Michael Oliver. Says Nelly. Silva didn't get booked because the ref was speaking to Walker. Saka and Arsenal moved the ball away. He weren't looking. Poor officiating all round, says Liam. Ben says, you called it. Vicario has done an Instagram story, says Ben. Nandu says, you're milking it. It's a red. Doku didn't get a yellow because he just toe poked the ball away. Mate, go back to fucking bed, you absolute pillock. Oh my God. I can't believe you dared to even put that on a fucking super chat. So now it's how hard you kick the ball away. Well, I'll do you on that one as well then, won't I? So because Doku poked it away, he didn't get a yellow card, but because Trossard kicked it in the air, he did. Declan Rice rolled it away and got a yellow card, mate. Yellow Sun says consistency is the problem, but they were consistent last weekend and people moaned about too many yellow cards, so that they can't win, can they? Nah, I think that's a poor argument, Yellow. That's a poor argument. This is the biggest game of the season between two title contenders. If one game you've got to be consistent, it's this. You can't. So you're saying the inconsistency is fine because if you have consistency, you get loads of yellow cards. Nah, you can't. You can't justify that. Gonna need a Turkish hairline after this game, says Jaden. Statistically, when Michael Oliver is the referee, Man City wins 76.1% of the games. Arsenal are 44.2%. Yeah, but to be fair, Orty, don't Man City win 76% of the games anyway? What's your top 5 Oasis songs, Mark? I'm not talking about bloody Oasis songs. They support Man City. Alec Miller says, on American TV, they just literally pointed out that the original call on the field was a reckless foul, not kicking the ball away. Then the PGMOL changed it at half-time for the kick away. Michael McDonald says American commentary says they heard the VAR staff saying the yellow was for a foul. Quote from the broadcaster, they better get their story straight. Well, it's disgusting, isn't it? When people have to get their story straight, you know they've made a mistake. Thanks for all your comments anyway. Absolute legends. I think I might be able to just check this actually, because you might want to screenshot this before they change it. But Premier League Match Centre basically says this. The referee issued a second yellow card to Lisandro Trossard for delaying the restart. They're fucked. I've quote tweeted it if you want to retweet it. It's such a shame. From a footballing point of view, it's such a shame. I mean, look, it doesn't matter whether it's Man City against Arsenal or it's Bournemouth against Brighton. A red card doesn't make any game better. It never does. It never does. If it's your team, you get a bit excited because you think we're going to win. But from a spectator point of view, 10 against 11, probably 99 times out of 100 makes it a worse game. As a spectacle, it'll end up being defence against attack. But it's so hard for Arsenal because even when they make the interception, there's not really a ball out for them. Please do subscribe to the channel, by the way. Bottom right-hand corner, you're all welcome. Get your comments in. Look, I can't lie. If you're a Man City fan, you must be absolutely ecstatic. Red-tinted glasses on. If it happened to us next week against Spurs, I'd be ecstatic. Getting a little bit of help from an inconsistent referee. You know, I don't actually blame Man City. I don't actually believe for 1 minute that there is anything sinister going on. I just think it's crap refereeing and he shouldn't be anywhere near it. That's my honest take on it. I mean, I think anybody who thinks it's a conspiracy theory is... anybody who thinks it's bribery or anything like that is going to... I mean, that's just not worth thinking about, and I don't think it's true. But I do think that this is a referee that shouldn't be anywhere near big Man City games because last season he made a lot of bad calls. And he shouldn't be anywhere near this. I mean, in fairness, if you're Howard Webb and you're picking the referee for Arsenal Man City, and you know what you know from last year, why would you give him the game? They're so pig ignorant and stubborn. It defies logic. It's not independent. It's not about the best quality. It's about mates rates. It's like, why would you give Anthony Taylor a big Chelsea game? It doesn't make any sense, but they do it all the time. Good play by Doku. I mean, Arsenal, you've done 10 minutes, Arsenal. That's a start. But good shot there, Kanji, another corner. Bottom right-hand corner to subscribe. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in. Big shout-out to Manscaped, who are sponsoring the stream. Use the code FOOTY, delivered to your door, 20% off. Trim the grass to make the yard look bigger. Free delivery as well. Do you think Arsenal can get the win? No. I think it would be miraculous to get the draw. I think it's impossible. I mean, it's hard enough to stop Man City scoring. They're a fantastic side, you know, begrudgingly or not, they are a fantastic side. It's impossible to stop them scoring most games anyway, in 11 against 11. With 10 men at the Etihad, I think it's very, very difficult. Awarding inconsistency isn't right either. For me, it needs to be a rule change, as I don't want them to be inconsistent if that means 15 yellows per game, says Yellow. If nobody was to think like that, the criminals would get away with a lot more than they already do. Just my thoughts, says Thomas. Jack says, surely there is enough hard evidence out there now for all the clubs to take the PGMOL to court for this, because we can't carry on with the corruption, says Jack. It's interesting. I saw that on a tweet or on the radio or something last week. Somebody was saying in relation to Steve Cooper and Leicester, are we going to get to a point where litigation comes in? Because the Premier League is such big business, and if you see genuine incompetence that costs you relegation or a title or a European spot, could litigation come in? I mean, I don't want to see that. Litigation would be a court case, obviously. But I think in this case, you know, they've put it out on their official Twitter account that the second yellow card was for kicking the ball away. Well, if you're Arsenal, you can quite justifiably say, we've had a yellow card for kicking the ball away. Doku in the same game kicks the ball away. And it's actually worse because Trossard kicks the ball away in a situation where it's a heat of the moment instantly after the foul, whereas Doku kicks the ball away when the game has slowed down and he knows what he's doing. So, and also for me, Bernardo Silva did as well. So that's the problem. Arsenal have got the PGMOL banged to rights. Forget Man City. They've got the PGMOL banged to rights because they can say, we've been discriminated here. We've been discriminated in an unfair way where we've had a yellow card for kicking the ball away and two of their players haven't. What's your justification for that? And Howard Webb will have to just say, we don't actually have one. And they don't. I'll be honest with you, if nobody else had kicked the ball away and only Trossard, I would still say that's ridiculously harsh in a game of this magnitude. But my case would be weaker because it would be the only person doing it. So if Trossard was the only guy to kick it away, I would say that's a joke. This is a massive game. You can't be sending people off for something like that in this sort of game. But the PGMOL would be fine because they would go, well, by the rule, we've said we're going to stamp down on it. We did it to Declan Rice. We've done it to Trossard. It's a second yellow card. He's off. Harsh, but they'd hide behind it. With this, they're in trouble because they haven't done it in two other incidents in the same game. So they've got nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. I'm just watching the clock here. Still well over half an hour to go. Poor old Arsenal. They've got literally nothing. Infinity +1 says, you supported Man City on that season 3 years ago against Liverpool's quadruple. I still can't believe it's the same mark. Well, why not? Liverpool are actually Man United's biggest rival, mate. Man City aren't. I don't know what you're finding unbelievable about it. They are trying to make football great with VAR, tweaking it if they are criticised. Do you think it will go that far and they import foreign referees like refs and objective people you mentioned yesterday, says Howder? I just want consistency, mate. I'm fed up of the inconsistency. I think already this weekend we've had some decisions that are... I agree with the Gibbs White. I think it was a second yellow. I agreed with the Martinez one being a yellow, but it could have been a red if he'd made contact. I agreed that Vicario's handball was, overstated. Even if they'd seen it, it was a yellow card and a free kick. Great save by Raya. I thought it was a penalty for West Ham. I thought that was a bad decision. And I think this yellow card here is a bad decision. I can't think of anyone else. I think I've watched everything this weekend. So for me, the two biggest shit decisions this weekend were the West Ham penalty. And Chelsea would have won the game anyway, but I still think it should have been a penalty. And I think this second yellow card's a joke. Which fan base is the most intolerable on Twitter, says Distressed Wrangler. I don't spend enough time on it anymore to know. This is Helms Deep for Arsenal, says Alex. Yeah, well, they need... Who's going to rescue them from the bench? Who's going to be Gandalf? Manta says, if you don't think it's sinister, Mark, then why would you not pick Michael Oliver for the game? He clearly has favour over Man City, says Manta. I mean, I think that's a great point. I wouldn't pick Michael Oliver for the game because I think that the evidence from last season was that there was a lot of decisions that went Man City's way when he was involved. And I'm not saying that that's corrupt, but those decisions did go in Man City's favour. So I would be like, this season, let's not have him involved in big Man City games because then those things won't get spoken about. 62 minutes. It's just, it's a shit. The thing is, it's a horrible game to watch now as well, isn't it? It's just defence against attack. When Man City do score, there's just that sigh of injustice. I wouldn't be surprised in a minute if Michael Oliver just got involved in the passing and the build-up. He keeps showing for the ball and going, give it me. Give it me. Come on. I'll lay it off for you. Oh, he's made a run into the box now, Michael Oliver. Oh, he's asking for it on his head, but they're not going to pass to you, mate. You're the ref. Goal kick. Maxwell stopped paying attention. Do you think City will show it? I don't know what that's all about. They've got Foden on the bench, Man City, of course. What options can Man City throw in for a goal? They've got Foden, they've got Lewis. I mean, they don't have Alvarez anymore, do they? Arsenal just trying to slow this game down a little bit. Lee Berman says, PJ and Moal have turned off replies, says it all. Oh, of course they have, mate. Of course they have. Somebody just said Doku didn't delay the restart. He passed the ball to the actual position it should have been played from and the ref approved of it. No, that's a rubbish excuse, mate. That is a rubbish excuse. That's not in the law. You kick the ball away, it's a yellow card. I'm going to retweet this on Twitter. I thought it was genuine. Watch this. If you follow me on @Mark Goldbridge, look at my latest retweet. I genuinely, it's a parody account. I thought it was true. Okay. Rub says, I'm just joining the watch along. Arsenal are winning. Oh, it's so much more than that, Rub. It's so much more than that. Yeah. I mean, look, 11 against 11, there's no guarantee that Arsenal were going to win the game anyway. It's Man City at the Etihad, the best team in the league for the last decade. It still would have been a huge ask for Arsenal, but the fact that the game has been completely and utterly thrown on its head over very dubious officiating is the real shame. And actually, I think Pep will be sat there. The longer this goes on, he will... This is a great point as well. When you're 2-1 down, you'd rather play against 11. And I know that sounds absolutely stupid, but when you're 2-1 down and they get a man sent off, you'd actually rather play against 11 because you know there will be times where they actually do attack. Whereas when you play against 10, you're going to have to break down a shield. And you would expect to do it, of course you would. But it's not easy to play against 10 men when they're winning, and they're just going to have two banks and defend narrow and deep. Christopher says, at best it's incompetence, at worst it's corruption. Well, I choose incompetence because I think corruption's just a very dangerous word. Robbo says, I almost want City to score again so we can get the hell out of here, says Robbo. Look, maybe this time last year, Arsenal, injustice. Kovacic should have been sent off twice. They still won the game. Maybe they can ride out the injustice and still win the game. Time is ticking down. I mean, I said at half time, I think it'll end up 4-2 to Man City. But to be fair to Arsenal, 22 minutes have gone and they have defended very, very well. It's just so difficult to do it for 45 minutes. But they don't have Rodri and they don't have De Bruyne. And they're two players that you'd want in this sort of situation. It's just relentless. Savio over the bar. Is Rodri out for the season and Arsenal get a point? No way City win the title this season. Foden's coming on now. I don't know with Rodri. It's a hard one to call. Initially, it looks very, very bad, but he did hobble off. That doesn't mean it's not a bad injury. It's one of those, isn't it? Sometimes those things can be 8 months. Sometimes they can be he plays midweek. Foul by Diaz on Havertz. I don't think there's a... He's on a yellow card, Diaz. So I think they're trying to sort of say it should be a second. I think Diaz is on a yellow. But, yeah, I mean, it's not a second yellow card. No way. But it's a free kick up at the other end of the pitch. It alleviates a bit of pressure. T Bliss says, I'm an Arsenal fan and it's a horrible watch. Oh, mate, I don't envy you. I mean, if this was a United, we're 2-1 up at the Etihad and we're playing with 45 minutes without 10 men, you just, with 10 men, you just know that, it's just, you're just praying for the final whistle, aren't you? Robbo says, Pep just subbed Doku for Foden and Sky had the audacity to say that De Bruyne's absence could be a chink in City's armour. I mean, bringing Phil Foden off the bench, we'd all like to be able to do that. There is a United stand show at 8 o'clock tonight, yeah. Every other Premier League game I watch gets ruined by referees. I watch European football, basically never a problem. I'm so sad, says I'm all in. Here's Man City on the edge of the box again. We're into the 70th minute. Gundogan into Kovacic. Got to keep him out the box. Mr. Tumble. This is the sort of game where it becomes hard for Haaland. Oh, deflection. Ends up in Raya's arms. Yeah, this is the sort of game where it becomes hard for Haaland because there's not a lot of space to run into, is there? So unless you get the perfect cross in, he's He's finding it difficult. Calafiori's gone down with a bit of cramp. The problem with this is you can keep going down with cramp, but he'll add the minutes on. It looks like he needs to come off Calafiori anyway. How are you feeling? Let me know in the comments. We're only 200 subscribers away from 254,000. Please do subscribe. Bottom right-hand corner, there's just a break in the play at the moment. So I'll fill you in on a couple of things as well. Tomorrow lunchtime at midday, we're live with our Premier League review show from the Goldbridge Arms, live on this channel. So tune in tomorrow. There'll be lots to discuss, no doubt, from this game as well. I've got my match reaction coming up after this as well. And tomorrow afternoon at 3, it's episode 3 of my EAFC United career mode. So check out that as well. We're not back up and running yet. Calafiori is going to come off. Cracking goal. Well, whoever's coming on needs to have the game of their life here. What's your next watch along on this channel, Mark? It's not a great week. I mean, I'm doing Man United on Wednesday. That'll be on the United Stand. But this week, there's no Monday night football. The European football is Europa League. The Carabao Cup games are shit. Man City, Watford, Chelsea, Barrow, Villa, Wickham. The United against Twente on Wednesday. Thursday, Spurs play Karabag. Yeah, I'm definitely not doing that. Is there Friday night football? No. Saturday, Newcastle Man City at 12:30. So I'll probably do that, to be fair. Tell you what, Wolves have had a bad start to the season, haven't they? They've got Liverpool at home next. I took the piss out of Will on the podcast. He said Wolves will be in a relegation battle. I said, you're having a bloody laugh. I still don't think they'll be in a relegation battle, but they need to start picking up some points soon. McBeard the Bat says Kivior coming on. Now Arsenal are going to lose. The clock is ticking, but we don't know how long it's going to get added on, so I wouldn't take too much notice of the 90 minutes yet. I'd say he's going to add at least 5. I'd say Michael Oliver will add on as many minutes as it takes. You just can't see Man City not creating a golden opportunity, can you? Look, it's nothing against Arsenal. You can't keep a team like this out for 45 minutes. I just don't think you can do it. That's the challenge, but I don't think you can do it. Average Bit and Enjoyer says Kivior is a good player. John Stones is warming up. Thanks for all the super chats, by the way. Inter did it for 90, but they did it with 11 men, Sarah. Michael Keating says Wolves are absolutely certain to go down this season. Oh mate, I can't see how. I mean, look, Leicester drawing yesterday with Everton, Ipswich and Southampton drawing. The trouble with the newly promoted teams is they've had a few draws, but they're not winning. You've got to start putting points on the table. Shot straight at Raya there from Diaz. If the newly promoted teams want to stay up, they've got to start putting 3 points on the table. I mean, look, Ipswich have drawn at Brighton and drawn at Southampton. They're good points, but you need wins. Ipswich, 3 points from 5. Southampton, 1 point from 5. Leicester, 3 points from 5. Yes, Everton and Wolves are below them, but they're experienced Premier League sides that I think will win games. Thomas Partey needs to be careful. He's on a yellow card as well. City bring it forward again. 76 minutes. Gundogan into Haaland. Tries to get the shot off. Well done, Declan Rice. Needs some help. Goes long. It's all right. Kills a few seconds. Keb says, do you think Arsenal could win the league? They've got a chance if they don't get beat here. I mean, look, I'm not saying Arsenal are going to win this game because I still think that's a mammoth task. Oh, you don't want Grealish coming on. He literally is Mr. Tumble. He's like Jack Grealish is like Tom Daly and Mr. Tumble having a baby. He really is going to take a few dives here. He is the last player you want coming on, Grealish. Trampoline toes. Don't give Mike... I mean, that's one thing Mikel Arteta will have said at half-time as well. Don't give Michael Oliver a chance to give them a penalty. Have you looked into the NBA ref cheating scandal, Mark? They did it by calling cheap fouls, says Bold Manager Energy. Look, I know it's happened. There's accusations of it in other sports. There's accusations of it in Italy, which Juventus, I think, got into trouble for. There's accusations of it to do with La Liga. I genuinely do not believe for 1 second that we have got officials that are bribed or cheated. I'd be disgusted. I'd be absolutely disgusted. What I do believe is that we've got complete and utter egomaniacs who make decisions because they want to be on the back pages. I think some of these referees actually enjoy being controversial. And I think Michael Oliver, when he saw it was Trossard kicking the ball away, I think the adrenaline will have gone rushing through him and gone, I've got a chance to be the main guy. And that narcissism or, ego is disgusting. I think it's incompetence and ego that causes the problem. I don't think Anthony Taylor dislikes Chelsea. I just think Chelsea have caught a few stray games with him. But I don't for 1 minute think it's corrupt. I think it's just incompetence and ego, which is a dangerous cocktail. We're about to hit the 80th minute here. I think City's best chance is going to be a shot from the edge of the box, isn't it? Thomas says, you did imply it last season, though. I think you'd struggle to catch me out for that, mate. Go on. Go on. Martinelli. City can't break them down, says Nomad Joe. They can't break them down at the moment. HPN says, I gave up believing in competent officiating after what happened to Lewis Hamilton. Don't get me on that. I mean, yeah, if you're not into your F1, I mean, that was a horrible day. Just making up the rules as you go along, which is basically what they do here. You're going to stick with 4-2, Mark, says Matthew. No, look, Arsenal have done very well. I didn't expect them to not have conceded 81 minutes in. They defended fantastically well. I know it's not a great watch, but defensively, they've done so well. But look, every minute that passes, I'm being justified in the comment that most people will know, if they've been in this situation, Pep would rather play against 11 men. I guarantee you. If you could ask Pep Guardiola, he would say, I would rather be against 11 men, 2-1 down, than against 10 men, 2-1 down. Unless he's playing, I don't know, Everton. Because against Arsenal, he knows what he would do. He knows that you can shut down a game with 10 men. You'd still expect to get the game done, but it's harder. Because Arsenal are just going to defend, whereas if they had 11, they would try and attack every now and again. But I'm not taking anything away. I think Pep would still expect to win this game with 45 minutes against 10 men. This is the horriblest bit, though, for Arsenal, because with 45 minutes to go, it's a mountain. With 10 minutes to go, you can see the summit. And you don't want to slip when you can see the summit. Let it go for a throw in, Gabriel. Yeah. Very rare scenario for City to be in. Maybe this was the ultimate game plan, says Chris. Declan Rice has just had a yellow card. Don't know why. It's kind of ironic, though, that an injustice of a red card has potentially hindered Man City here. Goal kick. Apparently, Declan Rice got a yellow card for delaying the restart. Fucking hell. This guy just makes it up as he goes along. He's probably thinking Declan Rice will miss time a tackle in a minute. That'll be another red. Just watch out for Grealish. It's hard for City, though, because I really do think their goal has to come from a scenario where they have a shot from distance, because it's so congested in the box. You can't find that clean pass or clean cross. You're looking for... When here's a cross into the box, Raya will get that. It's really difficult for City. The way that City play, it's really difficult because Arsenal have got a player within 5 yards of them all across that box. So you basically give up the width and you give up the edge of the box and you give no space in the box. So Man City can't really break them down. They're looking for the perfect cross, which is probably unlikely, or you're looking for the perfect edge of the box shot. And as Marvin says, I said this half an hour ago, De Bruyne in a game like this is worth his weight in gold. The quarterback. 85 minutes. Bernardo Silva. Still Bernardo Silva. Still Bernardo Silva. Terrible shot by Diaz. Look, also, what I would say, if you're a Man City fan, is 25 shots to 7 on target. You have had a lot of shots from the edge of the box that have been very badly hit. Very badly hit. The shooting from City has been really bad. I'm not going to tweet that. That would be a jinx. But the impressive thing is, you know what? I'm not saying that Man City still couldn't win this game, because they could. But the impressive thing is, Arsenal's defence haven't looked panicked. Braxton says, is Haaland still playing? Well, yes, he is. It's, you know, this is where Haaland gets unfair criticism for me. Very difficult for Haaland. You know, he's running around. He's always got 3, 4 Arsenal players within 5 metres of him. Very little space. Great save by Raya. That was a good shot by Vardiel. That's the sort of thing they need. Good hit, good save. I mean, that's the thing you can't do anything about. If he scores that, it's a worldie. I think the height helps Raya a little bit. If it's high, he probably doesn't get that. Good save. Good keeper, Raya. I think he's better than Edison. Jesus comes on. 3 minutes of normal time. Martinelli goes off. At this stage, it will be a very good point for Man City. It will be an absolute kick in the arse for Arsenal. Although at half-time, you'd have said a point would have been good for Arsenal. You would not have expected them to be able to keep City out. If you're Arsenal now, you just want to get to 90. Cross comes in. That's a good one. Partey. Back in position for Arsenal. Diaz. Kovacic. Akanji. I think they've got to start taking more shots from the edge of the box. Hit it low. I don't think they're going to find a way through any other way. Arsenal, you need to get your line up. Get your line up. That Arsenal defence is working so well. They're pushing the line together at times. They're not... Don't give a free kick. Don't give any free kicks up. Kovacic. Foden. Grealish. Don't let him in the box. Don't let him in the box. Kovacic. This is the chance. Block the shot. Foden. Keeper's got it. Well done, Raya as well. Took his time picking it up. Yeah, I'm just watching that Arsenal defence when Man City are going side to side. And they're pushing up, they're dropping back. They're pushing up, they're dropping back. The Flight Sim lad says, I hope other teams are learning from this. You know what? I don't think you can. Because my theory is, how is it that Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool can keep Haaland quiet, but West Ham, Ipswich can't? I think you've got to be very, very, very good defenders to keep Haaland quiet. I don't think West Ham or Ipswich are going to learn anything from this. I don't think you can keep Man City quiet. I don't think you can come to the Etihad and play like Arsenal. I think this is why I've been very impressed with Arsenal's defence. They've got elite defenders who work in a unit fantastically well. Timber's done here. Ray's going to kick the ball out. Look at these City players running forward again. I'd send Diaz off. He's not the captain. Who's the captain? Who is the captain for City? He hasn't got the captain's armband on. Why is Diaz running forward here? And Haaland. Carl Walker's the captain. Yellow card for Silva. Give it to fucking Diaz, you coward. Bernardo Silva's not done as much as Diaz. Send Diaz off. Sorry, he should be off there. Go there and win, they said. We did. Sit down, Sky. Sit down, Talk Sport, says Chris. Chris, you're a very dangerous man. The whole Arsenal defence deserves man of the match, says Alil. It's not over yet, mate. He's added 7 minutes on. Very rare scenario for City, says Chris. It's not over yet. Apparently Diaz is now the captain. I couldn't see the captain's armband. If he is the captain, fine. But even then... Send him off. No, I'm being a bit biased there. It's probably why I didn't send him off. Haaland header. Ooh, straight at the keeper. Watch out, Raya. He's going to book you for time wasting. He's going to book you 100%. I think Raya wants a booking. If I was Raya, I'd take a booking. I'd take a booking here. A lot of people complaining about 7 minutes. 34,000 watching. Make sure you watch the match reaction because if Arsenal win this, it's going off like a bottle of pop. What does it do to the league table? Don't talk to me about that. Don't talk to me about that wizardry. Dumbledore's about to show you. This is what the league table looks like. As it stands, Arsenal top a point ahead of Man City and Liverpool. And Liverpool would be right back in this title race, having lost at home to Nottingham Forest. Tighter than an ant's chuff if Arsenal get this. Even Chelsea would only be 3 points off the top and Villa would be 1 point off the top. But there's still time for Manchester City here. Oh no. Vardiel, don't let him on his left foot. Still lots of time. Edge of the box, Diaz. He thought about the shot. They've got to shoot from distance. I think it's the only way. It is the only way. Neville saying Arteta told his players to keep going down. I think I've had a theory for a long time. I think Gary Neville dislikes Arsenal more than Man City. I don't know what you think. I just genuinely think he doesn't like Arsenal. And it probably goes back to the rivalry. You know, Man United's big rival was Arsenal when Neville was playing. So I think he sees Arsenal as a bigger rival, which is weird. That's a foul. Ref. Foden. Do City score with De Bruyne and Rodri in the team, Mark? Well, we'll never know, but probably. Throw into City. Still probably 3 minutes. Well, he'll add time on top of time as well. Kovacic. Getting your positions, Arsenal again. That's it. Nice on the edge of the box. Well in. Well in. Make Foden go back to Ederson. That's going to buy you a few seconds as well. Few empty seats at the Etihad. Some of them... I mean, why would you leave? Why would you? Why? I've never understood that. It's not. No, look, this is not exclusive to City. Those seats were full before. Why would you leave though? Biggest game of the season, title race game. You're at home. You're against 10 men. You've scored loads of late goals in your history. Why are you walking out? Oh, I want to beat the traffic. Oh, he's booking Jesus now. He's a knobhead. He's an absolute knobhead, this referee. JR says, hi, my name is Isaiah. Thanks, mate. Thanks for your super chat. I hope you haven't got your mum or dad's credit card. Oh, Raya, great catch. I think this is going to be, what's the title? What is the title if Arsenal win? Arsenal destroy Man City or Man City in crisis? I like Arsenal destroy City because you get Arsenal in the title. You've got to say they've destroyed them if they've played 45 minutes with 10. That Arsenal defence has barely broken sweat. One mistake led to a goal. We might speak too soon. Arsenal humble City. I like that one. It's not yet. Not there yet. Not there yet. Grealish into the box. Oh, corner. That's it. Blow the whistle. That's it. 97 minutes. Come on, blow the whistle. 97 minutes. Added time for what? What Arsenal have gone to sleep here? Yeah, goal. There you go. Why did they go to sleep on the corner there? Added time in added time has done Arsenal twice. Over 97 minutes when the ball went in. Over added time when Trossard's goal went in as well. They went to sleep on the corner. I don't know why. I don't know why they I don't know why they went to sleep. Yeah, nothing wrong with the goal. I can't see anything wrong with the goal. But I don't know why they let that short corner happen. I mean, Grealish, that is just... It's such a shame from Arsenal because you can't have that situation. You can't have that situation going on. It's all kicking off a little bit now. You can understand the frustration. I know what the headline for my title is going to be now. Arsenal robbed by VAR. Oh, it's not VAR, is it? Can't be that. Erling Haaland just barged into Partey. Nomad Joe said it's been a Arsenal red wall. That's the title. Says Chris. Not anymore. There's the final whistle. I wouldn't be shaking the referee's hand here. I wouldn't be shaking his hand if I was an Arsenal player. Well, you know what? That could be the title, though. That could be the title. Those 2 points that Arsenal haven't got, that could be the title. It's disgusting. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Pep's actually moaning at the fourth official. Mate, how are Man City players walking off here moaning like they've been robbed? I mean, seriously. Pep's moaning at the fourth official. Bernardo Silva's walking off like someone's nicked his bloody Weetabix. Diaz is moaning at the referee. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Pep's still talking to the fourth official. Mad. Absolutely mad. Right, I'm going to go record my match reaction. I'm live on the United Stand at 8 o'clock as well. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Look, it was emotional. It was action-packed. But that guy's a fucking fraud. And if I speak, I'm in trouble. Thanks everyone for watching. Take care. Match reactions coming up. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Speak to you in a bit. Thanks everyone for tuning in.